Hi there, gang. In this video, I just turn on a little bit extra light. There, that's a bit extra light. In this video, you're not going to see my face because my face is not important in this video. There we are. That's all the light that I have. So I hope that this is enough light because it's all the light that I have. Okay, so what I have here, I'm going to make kombucha for you. So what I've got here is I'll take my scarf off so that won't confuse you. I've got 8 tea bags in here. So I put the tea bags in boiling water and I'm just squeezing out those tea bags, making sure that there's no water left in there and that I haven't broken the tea bags, because if you use a metal equipment or a fork or something like that, you'll bruise the tea bag and then you'll have a mass of tea bags. Okay, so there we are. That's a mason jar and I'm not quite sure how much it holds. You can get one of these from the $2 shops. You can see how big it is. There's my hand. So from the tip of my finger to the tip of my thumb, that's the quantity. And then this morning before I left, because it's important to have all this stuff cold, before I left I made a jug here which has about 600 ml of water which contains 1.5 cups of sugar. So I put that in there. That's all dissolved and nice and cold. Okay, so that there is the basis of your kombucha. It's just tea and sugar and water. Okay, and now this is what is called the mother. It's not terribly attractive. There it is. That goes in there, and I've got a few there, and seeing I've got a few, I'm going to put a few in there. Better than putting it in the fridge. They like it in the water, so I'll put it in there. And that's a little bit of leftover kombucha from the last time. Now this is the important thing. This is the clip top lid. Do not use the clip top lid. What I've just put in there is a fungus. Fungus like to have lots of air. So I've got a serviette and I put the serviette over the top, doubled, and then I put an elastic band over the top of that. And there we are. That is your kombucha. That is as hard as it gets. Okay? I suppose I put in, it would be hard to tell, but it would be about 1.5 litres altogether, I think. I don't measure. I just put the kombucha in the bottom. I put the tea bags in the bottom in water and boiling water, and I let that get cold. While I'm doing that, I am dissolving the sugar in 600 ml of water. I know that because it's got the measurement on the side of the jug. And when they're both cold, I squeeze out the tea bags, put the sugar into there, sugar water into there, and then you just got to leave it for a few weeks or a few days, depending on what the temperature is like in your kitchen. In my kitchen, it is not so bad. It's a bit warm because I have it on the shelf. I'll go and I'll show you where I have it. Okay, so I have it on the shelf up there. You can see that. all the little things that look like wine and look like labelled stuff. That's my shelf. You'll also notice that there is no stove. I don't have a stove. So there we are. I'm sure that you've got that now. This is the finished kombucha. It contains 8 tea bags in water, in boiling water, and then I let that get cold and squeeze it out. I put in 600 ml of water with a cup and a half of sugar, brown or white or beige or whatever colour sugar you want goes in there. Everything gets cold, and then I put the two together. And then I put them in this mason jar. You can see the mason jar. Here it is. Americans call it mason jar. You can see how big it is. You'll get to know what size. Just depends how much. When I was bringing up kids, I used to have 4 of these all grouped along the bench because the kids would drink it all the time. And it is simple to make. It just needs a little bit of time. You just put it over on your shelf there. Well, that's where I keep mine. And you can see that I've got the jug there. So I guess every time the jug boils, steam goes up and makes the fungi in my kombucha very happy. And I've got decanted a whole lot this morning, and it's bubbly and it's beautiful and it tastes fantastic, and much better than the stuff bought in the shops. Once you've had this, you'll think, like I do, that the stuff bought in the shops is just lolly water, that's all. So please give it a go. How much have you got to lose? Not much. 8 tea bags, and they go in the garden anyway, so no waste, and you get out of this size, I will get a wine bottle, just an ordinary wine bottle. I'll show it to you. Okay, this is what I decanted this morning. It's just your ordinary Lindeman's wine bottle, and it is totally, absolutely full of fantastic kombucha, and it is effervescent and it's wonderful, and I love it. And when it stays in the fridge for a couple of days, it'll really get a bit of a fizz on, kind of like champagne. And that is lovely. This is quite a dark batch. Every batch is slightly different. This is quite a dark batch. Sometimes it's not quite so dark, but this one tastes absolutely wonderful. And as well as that, I've got walnuts happening and mead happening. Yeah, my mead I'm happy with. See, this is my mead, and you can see it's starting to ferment. It's got that lovely froth around the top, so that does it's like ginger beer, and it does like to have a lid on it. Good boys, whatever it's doing it beautifully. So it's kind of like Little House on the Prairie around here at the moment, because we're going into winter. So I've got apple cider vinegar happening. I've got the kombucha, which happens all the year. I've got mead happening, and this is very strong mead. Some people say it's about 18 proof, but mine maybe is a little bit more by the time it comes out. And I've got this is rum toff. Well, actually mine is vodka brandy toff because I just use whatever is left from making desserts and things. And we've got lots of plums and lots of pears and lots of peaches, and so I started off with those, and I put sugar and alcohol in here, so that's going to get wonderful and rich and deep and sticky and fantastic. So yes, in the alcohol department I'm doing quite well with all these natural alcohols. By the way, some people have said, oh, you shouldn't drink kombucha because it's alcoholic. It has about the same amount of alcohol as a slice of bread, A slice of bread is also a ferment. It has yeast in it, just the same as the kombucha, and they have about the same amount of yeast and the same amount of alcohol. So if you're not frightened to have a slice of bread, you shouldn't be frightened to have some of this kombucha. Okay? Easy made, fantastic stuff. Namaste.